Hello and welcome back to my Union Pacific N-Scale Willow Creek sub. Today I'm going to show you how I do ballast. It's not a how-to video, it's not a tips and tricks video, just showing you how I do my ballasting. This is the section that comes out of the side of Tunnel 9. This is leading from Oakhurst. The track in the foreground heads off down the helix. The track diverging off heads off to the steel mill. And the track at the far back there, that's the lead for the run around for the rotary dumper. So I'll show you how I go about ballasting my track. These are the tools I use for ballasting. It's pretty basic. I've got a 50-50 mix of PVA wood glue. I've got 99.8% pure isopropyl alcohol. I'm using Woodland Cenic's fine ballast, grey blend, a makeup brush, a spoon, pipette, and a soft bristled artist brush. First up, when I go to ballast my track, I just use my teaspoon and I just pour the ballast on, mainly down the centres of the track here, and don't worry about too much overspill over the rails, because that's what the brushes are for. We'll brush them all out. You have to excuse the camera being so shaky, because obviously I'm trying to do this with one hand, and so that's the first step. I'll get the ballast on there, and next step I'll start to smooth it out and push it around. So now we've got the ballast mounted up there. I'm just going to go through with my brush and just brush it along, sort of trying to keep everything uniform and even. I want to sort of aim to take the ballast off the top of the tyres, but leave plenty enough on the shoulders. So give the first sort of brush through. Now up by the switchblades here, I'll come in with a smaller brush and I'll get in between those. Any bits that are sort of too high on the shoulders there, I'll use the makeup brush and I'll just dab it down to take the edge off some of those shoulders there. Don't worry about the ballast spilling out all everywhere else, we'll sweep that up eventually. Alright, here we go. We've got the ballast on the track, we've got the ballast spread out using a few different brushes, just making sure that we uncover just the tops of the tyres and keep the shoulders nice and uniform. You can see the track on the right is level and the track on the left is slowly going downgrade, so there's a bit of a grade change between the tracks. But I'm happy with the ballast the way it is now, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it up. When I glue up, I use a isopropyl alcohol and I go through and I just soak the whole lot. Sort of try and keep it sort of off the ballast quite a bit, because sometimes you can actually blow the bits of the ballast away, but you want to get the ballast. Sorry, I'm sort of out of frame because I'm trying to do this with one hand, but we want to soak that ballast. We want to see that isopropyl alcohol going. Just leaching out there. I use the 99% stuff. Use the 70%. You're pretty much just spraying water on your track, which is what wet water is made up with anyway, but I prefer the alcohol. So you want it absolutely drenched, soaking, ready for the glue to be put on. Now don't be alarmed, I'm usually, I suppose we all got weird different ways of doing things, but I got my 50-50, I mix it up in old wine glasses. When I moved in here, I had a heap of wine glasses, and I don't drink wine, so they come in handy. I mix paints and glues and all sorts in them. But anyway, this is where we're going to start adding the glue. So just get the little pipette, so we're going to bring in here closer. And we're just going to put the glue on there. Just make sure we give everything a good soak, and we want to turn the whole sort of track section into sort of like a milky white sort of concoction. The woodland scenics here that actually make this ballast is actually crushed up walnut that they use. They crush up walnut and they dye it to get the colour, but that's all the ballast is. And you might even see when you're doing this little bits of ballast floating, because it's actually walnut. I always start off the inside of the track first. You can probably see it leaching out the sides, and I'll go up and just make sure I'm just giving everything a nice decent coat. I want to get everything completely soaked. And don't worry, you're not going to put too much glue on. Well, I suppose you probably could, but you want to sort of get it puddling. You can see a milky white sort of surface on it. So I'll go ahead and I'll glue up the rest of this ballast, and I'll show you what it's like afterwards. So this is what I'm looking for here. You can see it's a very milky sort of white, glossy, absolutely saturated ballast. This is what we're looking for. So we'll wait for that to dry up. Once that's dried up, we'll obviously test our cars over it, and then we'll start weathering up the track more, and we'll see where we go from there, and make sure we got the turnout blades still switch across. Obviously be careful with the glue around those, but that's not rocket science. But we'll see it when it all dries up.